All right, guys, today let's test which of my sourdough starters make the best bread. As you can see, both of them have doubled in size. This one's Benny, and this one's Canary. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Canary. I only need 150 grams, and then I need 150 grams of Benny. Let's add in 363 grams of warm water, and then I'm just gonna stir until all my starters dissolve. Let's add 500 grams of bread flour, and then 13 grams of salt. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and stir them until they become a shaggy dough. All right, now both my doughs are mixed up. I went ahead and labeled them that way I can keep up with them. Now I'm just gonna take a plastic shower cap and I'm gonna cover them and just let them rise for about an hour. All right, it's been an hour. Now with wet hands, I'm gonna go ahead and just pull my dough, do my first stretching folds. And I'm just gonna do this for about 8 to 10 times. So I went ahead and covered them. I'm gonna let them rest for another 30 minutes before the next stretching folds. These are the second stretching folds. We can actually start doing our coil folds. I'm just gonna cover them and we're gonna go ahead and let them rest for another 30 minutes. These are gonna be the third stretching folds. I'm just gonna do like coil folds, pull them up. Pull that like that. Look how smooth and how much structure this has. Cover this again, and we're gonna let this rest for a final 30 minutes before we do our final stretching folds. Final stretching folds. All right, now let's cover, and then we're gonna go ahead and bulk ferment these for about 2 hours or until doubled. Lightly flour my surface. I'm gonna take my dough and I'm just gonna pour it out. I just wanna get it into kind of like a rectangle. Take one side of the dough, flop it over. Take the other side of the dough and just put it over like that. And keeping the tension and just roll it up. Now I'm just gonna use the tension on the surface to make my dough into a ball. And then just cover it with this bowl, let it rest for about 20 minutes. Spread this out again, grab a side, fold it over, grab the other side, fold it over, keeping the tension. We're gonna take our Benetton basket, sprinkle it with some rice flour, and then we're gonna face our dough top side down. Next, I'm just gonna sprinkle the surface, that way just to make sure it doesn't stick. Now both my doughs are finished, now off to the refrigerator. All right, it's been 24 hours. Both of these have had a 12-hour proofing, so we're ready to start baking. Of course, I'm only gonna work with one right now since I don't have one Dutch oven. I'm left-handed, so I'm just gonna do a design on this side right here, because this is my best hand, and I'll do like the expansion on the second side. So now I got my hot Dutch oven. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in my dough. I'm just gonna add a few ice cubes for steam, and then we're gonna go ahead and top this inside of the Dutch oven. Now I'm gonna cook this on 450 for 30 minutes. Now look how good both of them turned out. So with Benjamin, this left. And then Canary. Crusty. Okay, so let's pass the crust test. You know, both my starters turned out well. Simply delicious.